Week 9 is in the books, folks. You know what that means. It's time to go around the league for scores, standings, Player of the Week awards, a game preview for next week, and questions for the week ahead. But first, let's start with scores. Carolina makes it look easy, winning at home against the Bucks 35-14. Cam Newton has a big day throwing the ball with 220 yards and 2 touchdowns, completing 16 of his 25 passes. The Panther defense played their role well too, forcing 2 turnovers, both of which were interceptions. We saw our Ravens win a competitive game in New York against the Giants 44-34 in what can only be described as a touchdown fest. Lamar Jackson finishes the day with 5 total touchdowns, 3 passing all to Cameron Meredith and 2 rushing touchdowns, the biggest one being a one-play 70-yard run. The Saints win their 3rd in a row at home, this time against the Lions, 35-14. It's Alvin Kamara with a huge day, running wild for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns. His longest of the day was 74 yards. The Texans run away at home with a 42-14 victory over the Vikings. Deshaun Watson tosses 3 scores on the day, 2 of them going to Will Fuller, who finishes with 136 yards receiving. In an old NFC North rivalry, it's the Packers coming out on top at home against the Bears 34-21. Green Bay's defense only allowed the Bears to score 1 touchdown in the second half, after allowing 2 in the first quarter. They went on a 27-7 run after the first quarter. Aaron Rodgers has another big game, this time wrapping up with 293 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Cardinals win a low-scoring contest against the Dolphins in Miami 14-11. The only points for the Cardinals came in the final quarter on a David Johnson rushing touchdown and a Patrick Peterson pick 6. The Browns survive at home, winning in overtime 23-17 against the Bengals. Baker Mayfield continues his good season, finishing with 305 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Jarvis Landry also has a big day, catching the ball with 118 yards and a touchdown. Dallas wins a tight one in LA against the Rams 24-17. Ezekiel Elliott made his mark catching the ball in this one, racking up 101 yards and a touchdown, as Dak Prescott throws 2 touchdowns on 195 yards passing. The Falcons go into Oakland and come away with a 5-point win 35-30. Matt Ryan made it look easy, throwing 4 touchdown passes, 2 of them going to Calvin Ridley. Washington gets their most dominant win of the season. It's their 2nd in a row, 45-29 in San Francisco over the 49ers. Dwayne Haskins has his best day of the year so far, throwing 4 touchdowns and for 328 yards in the air. Rookie receiver Jamal Burgess ends the day with 10 catches, 118 yards, and a touchdown. The Jets stop Seattle's 5-game win streak in beating the 12th man and winning 28-25 on Sunday night. Sam Darnold has another great game, throwing the ball as he finishes with 375 yards and 3 touchdowns, 2 of them going to Jamison Crowder, who ends the day with 139 yards as well. This gives him 4 100-plus receiving yard games on the season. The Titans roll over the Colts in Indianapolis 33-7 on Monday night. It's Tennessee's rookie running back Devontae Royster who was the difference maker. His 3 touchdowns on the ground along with 85 yards rushing made him difficult to stop. And finally, on Thursday night, the Chargers put up a 50 spot on the Broncos and win 50-21. Phillip Rivers throws 4 touchdowns, 2 to tight end Ricky Seals-Jones, and Melvin Gordon also helps with a rushing touchdown as well. Now let's take a look at standings, starting with the AFC North. 2-way tie first place between the Steelers and Browns, both at 6-2. Our Ravens are in 3rd place at 5-3, and the Bengals in last place at 3-5. In the AFC South, the Texans still in 1st place, 5-4. Titans 1 game back, 4-4. Colts and Jaguars both 3-5. In the AFC East, the Jets continue to stay on top, 6-3. Bills in 2nd place, 4-4. Patriots also tied for 2nd, 4-4. Dolphins still in last place though, 1-7. In the AFC West, the Chargers in 1st place, 6-2. Meanwhile, the Chiefs are in second place at 3-5. Raiders and Broncos 3-6. Over to the NFC now. North up first. The Bears still in first place at 6-2. Packers not too far behind at 5-3. Lions in third place at 4-4. Vikings in last place 1-7. NFC South now. Panthers in first place 6-2. Falcons in second 5-3. Saints in third 3-5. Buccaneers in last place 1-7. In the NFC East, the Cowboys in first place 6-1-1. Eagles 5-2-1 in second. Redskins in third place at 2-6. Saints still in last place 1-7. And finally, in the NFC West, the Cardinals still in first place 7-1. Seahawks 6-2 in second. 49ers 5-3 in third. And finally, the Rams are in last place, really struggling this year, 1-7. Now let's take a look at our Player of the Week awards now for the AFC and the NFC here in Week 9. Starting with the AFC, Lamar Jackson gets the Offensive Award this week. 148 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, but his big day was on the ground running. 202 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns as well. He was difficult to stop on the ground. Giants had no answer for him, thus getting him the award. On the defensive side, it's Quinnen Williams, defensive tackle for the Jets. 5 tackles and 3 sacks, a force in the backfield all day was Williams. Over to the NFC, it's Saquon Barkley, running back for the Giants. This is his second Player of the Week award this year, his first one way back in Week 3. We saw the big day he had. 116 yards rushing, 2 rushing touchdowns, and 2 receiving touchdowns on 66 yards receiving. On the defensive side of the NFC, it's Luke Kuechly, the veteran middle linebacker for the Panthers. 7 tackles, 1 sack, and 2 interceptions. Truly a shutdown player Kuechly been doing his whole career, now rewarded with a Player of the Week award here in Week 9. Congratulations to all the players who won the awards this week. Let's go on to a game preview now of the Ravens Week 10 matchup. They will play the Browns for the first time this season in Cleveland. Browns come into this game 6-2 on the year overall, 2-1 in the division. Their last game was a win against the Bengals, 23-17. Last year, though, the Ravens did sweep the season series. They'll be looking to start off on the right foot in this one. When you talk about Cleveland, you got to talk about these 3 guys, at least for this year anyway. One of them being the quarterback, of course, Baker Mayfield. 20 touchdowns to 5 interceptions on the year, really having a fantastic year throwing the ball. And of course, you can't forget about his 2,238 passing yards. And on the defensive side, we got to talk about Myles Garrett, of course. 44 tackles, 13 tackles for loss, and 9.5 sacks. The Ravens going to have to double team Garrett probably all game if they want to have any success passing or really running. He's going to be a force, I'm sure. And Akeem Moore, the rookie out of Utah State, middle linebacker, he's having a really good year. And rumor is he is the frontrunner to win the AFC Defensive Player of the Year award. 58 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and 1 interception on the year so far for Moore. If he plays like he's been playing all year, he might also be a problem for the Ravens, and that will not be good. But game time will be later on in the week, and I'm so excited to get to that one as well. I cannot wait. After the game we had against the Giants, I'm so glad we're back and looking to be in a better place than we were before the bye week. Let's wrap it up here though with some questions heading into Week 10. The first one being, can the Ravens continue their climb back up the AFC North? They started the season really good in first place. Since then, they have fallen down into third place in the AFC North, and they're going to have to get some help from the other teams in the division to maybe get them back up into second or first place. We'll see how it shakes out though. There's still plenty of time left in the regular season. Top defenses clash as the Bills take on the Titans. Who will survive? The Bills have the number 3 ranked defense in the league. The Titans have the number 4 ranked defense in the league. I expect this one to be a very defensive heavy, low scoring game. We'll see who comes out on top in that one, probably in the weekly recap. And finally, which of these 3 quarterbacks will help their case for MVP between Lamar Jackson, Sam Darnold, and Baker Mayfield. Jackson and Mayfield square off this week, and Darnold, he's having a really good year too. So all these guys are having fantastic years, and we are looking forward to seeing which one of them can separate themselves and elevate themselves enough to get that elusive MVP award. Lamar Jackson won it last year. He's looking to get a second one in a row. We'll have to see though. What about you guys? What do you think for these questions? I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you think. Alright you guys, that's going to do it for me for the weekly recap video. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you watching and listening. Thank you. And I liked the game this week, honestly. It was a really fun game. The slider set, I did change the sliders for this game, and I'm probably rolling with these, but this set I'm using for the remainder of the year, in case things, if things continue this way. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm sorry, but let's go. Let's go home. Let's get out of here, y'all. Let's go. Let's do it. All right. So, thank y'all for watching, listening. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Be sure to follow me on Twitch and Twitter as well. Links are in the box down below. What is that? Description box? Yeah, that's what that's called. Description box down below. Do that. Do those things. And be sure to like the video, subscribe, and share wherever you share cool stuff. Until next time, guys. You know what to do, though. Keep on shining and keep on grinding. I will see you all in the next one.